بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
والنجم إذا هوى ما ضل صاحبكم وما غوى.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم واستعينوا بالصبر والصلاة وإنها لكبيرة إلا على الخاشعين الذين يظنون أنهم ملاقو ربهم وأنهم إليه راجعون صدق الله العظيم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is teaching us how to get Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's help. إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ is telling us isti'ana, seeking Allah's help, is an essential need of every believer. This is why Allah placed it in Surah Al-Fatiha and asked us to make this dua all the time. وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ, we need your help, Ya Allah. How do we get Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's help? Allah answers that question in Surah Al-Baqarah. وَاسْتَعِينُوا بِالصَّبْرِ وَالصَّلَاةِ, seek help through sabr and salah. Imam Ibn Kathir, Imam Qurtubi and other Mufassirin have narrated on the authority of Imam Mujahid, who says, As-sabru huwa as-sawm. Sabr is fast. So seek Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's help through fasting and salah. But then why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used the word sabr instead of sawm? To tell us the most important lesson that we want to learn from our sawm, from our fasting, is sabr. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered us to have sabr in Qur'an al-Kareem, He says, إِنَّ اللَّهَ مَعَ الصَّابِرِينَ يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا اسْتَعِينُوا بِالصَّبْرِ وَالصَّلَاةِ, O you who believe, seek Allah's help through sabr and salah. What is the reward of this sabr? إِنَّ اللَّهَ مَعَ الصَّابِرِينَ, Allah is with sabirin. When you have sabr, when you are patient, Allah is with you. A person who would have Allah with him, on his side, helping him, what else this person needs? What more does this person need? Who else would he need when Allah is with him? You achieve the highest level of connection with Rabbul Alameen subhanahu wa ta'ala through sabr. And have we paid attention in these ayat? Both of the ayat that I have recited, وَاسْتَعِينُوا بِالصَّبْرِ وَالصَّلَاةِ, and the other ayah, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا اسْتَعِينُوا بِالصَّبْرِ وَالصَّلَاةِ, similar ayat. If you paid attention to both of these ayat, you would see sabr is coming before salah. When we talk about the important ibadat in Islam, we say salah is on the top of the list. And here we see in both of these ayat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is putting sabr above salah. وَاسْتَعِينُوا بِالصَّبْرِ وَالصَّلَاةِ يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا اسْتَعِينُوا بِالصَّبْرِ وَالصَّلَاةِ, sabr and then salah. Because a person who does not have sabr, he will not even be able to perform his salah. Even for salah we need sabr. So sabr is a ibadah that is required for every ibadah. To do any kind of ibadah, you need sabr. To do any good deed, we need sabr. If a person does not have sabr, he will not be able to keep up with any ibadah. time we need to realize sabr is not just a ibadah. Sabr is a need of every human being. Every human being needs sabr. Regardless of the person's religion, belief, faith, background, every person needs sabr. Unfortunately, it's something that a lot of time people don't learn how to have sabr. Always things would happen in our life that are not the way we want. Weather keeps on changing. Many times you don't like it. You don't want this weather, but it's there. You have to have sabr. You have to have patience. That's it. What else can you do? So many situations we go through in our lives. Someone fell, God forbid. Someone got ill. Someone is not feeling good. Just nothing. His health is okay, but the feeling is not good. He has everything, but he's not feeling happy. He has to have sabr. And then the natural difficulties that a person faces in his life. Someone dies within the family. Something happened, some work came up all of a sudden. Some appointment came up at a time when he wanted to rest. Getting up every morning for work. Working so hard to earn our livelihood. Then spending the money to get what we need to earn, what we need to get. A lot of things happen in our life where we have to have sabr and we have to have patience. So every human being, you go to the doctor's office, they will tell you, okay, you need to go through some tests, and for that, you need to just stay away from food and drink for these many hours. Don't eat, don't drink for these many hours. And every person, okay, he feels like eating, you feel like drinking, you feel like using the bathroom, and they tell you, no, you can't even use the bathroom. It's a sabr. So every human being has to have it. Adult, children, all of them. Child, you wake him up, doesn't want to wake up. I'm sleepy, I'm tired, I'm this. And parents say, no, get up, you have to wake up. See? So things do happen in our life and will always happen in our life that are not the way we want. And we will always have to learn how to be patient in those situations and go up with the situation and keep on moving forward with our lives. This is, of course, a part of sabr where everyone needs it, and we do it for ourselves. But how much sabr do we have for others? How much sabr we have towards others? When we face some type of difficulty on the hand of someone else, how much can we take of that? How much can we tolerate of it without bursting out and without reacting to it? May Allah protect everyone. But if someone gets hit, you're driving, someone hits your car from the back. You see sometimes the person who got hit comes out of the car furious, very upset, angry, starts cursing and shouting and all of that. After some days, he hits someone else's car. What does he do at that time? Maybe the damage to his car now is even more, but he comes out very calm and quiet. And he will expect the other person to give him a smile. But only some days back, his reaction was different. It was a very similar situation. See, how much sabr do we have for and with others? It's a very, very important question. This is where deen will come in now. This is where religion will come in and tell us, don't be selfish. This is when we have not learned the sabr. And we consider all of those situations where we have no choice. We say, okay, I have nothing to do, it's not, I can do nothing about it, so I have to be patient. But when we have a choice, when we can take it out, when we can react to the situation, then the person does not practice sabr. You were trying to climb somewhere, and you fell. And you see people sometimes when they fall, what's the first thing the person does? Looks around, no one is watching me, get up quickly. Okay, you're climbing somewhere and you told your wife, your child, or someone, your friend, hold the chair for me. And then you fell. Now you're going to take it out on this person who was holding the chair for you. How much sabr do we have with others? Before we start reacting, this is where Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam teaches us to have practice sabr in a way that your akhlaq with others are better than what you are with yourself. لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى يحب لأخيه ما يحب لنفسه. No one can be a believer until he loves for others whatever he likes for himself. And then we move one step further. And the third level of sabr is something that we will need to practice it, and every person who has any care, who cares about his deen and his religion and his akhirah, will have to learn it and practice it. And that is the sabr towards the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And in that regard, scholars tell us that there is three types of sabr. One is sabr ala ta'at, doing sabr on the good deeds. When a person is performing a good deed, and we experience this with our souls, when a person is doing a good deed, right there, so many difficulties would come on our way. It's really not real difficulties. It's our own nafs not willing to accept the situation. We are performing salah. You want the salah to finish quick. You are reading Qur'an, and every sometime looking at the watch. Okay, it's not finishing. It's not finishing. And when I'm going to finish my juz, now I don't think I can do one juz anymore. I have to cut it down to half a juz now. And then half a juz, and then I can just sit and do half a juz at a time, in one gathering, in one setting. Okay, let me ask someone if I can do one page at a time. See, we don't have sabr on the ta'at, on the good deeds. The second type of sabr is sabr anil ma'asiyah, which means doing sabr, learning how to do sabr against the desires of the nafs to commit a sin. The nafs says, desires, look at the haram, and you say, no, that's haram. The nafs desires some haram food, you're hungry, you're smelling it, and you know, no, there is something haram in it, I can't eat this. The nafs desires watching a movie, and you know it's haram. Oh, okay, I'm not going to do this. So having sabr against those sins, this is sabr anil ma'asiyah. And the third type of sabr is something that we all have to experience, and that is having sabr in normal difficulties a person goes through in his day-to-day life. Every day there is a situation where you will think, let me just move forward with it. It's difficult. I don't feel like going through this. I don't want this to happen, but what can I do? Although the third type of sabr is a type of sabr that we all go through it. Sometimes children are not feeling well, you are not feeling well, things happening in life that you don't feel like. These things, you really need to go through those situations, but we have to go through it, and there is no choice. This is sometimes gets the most difficult one. God forbid, a close relative dies in the family. Now, it's a very difficult situation. Sometimes it stops the person from even thinking right, cannot even do his work properly. He's just thinking about this person. Sometimes the person gets sick and he has to frequently keep on going to the hospital, test after test, and she is in a lot of pain. So this sabr could get very, very difficult, especially if some of the very close loved ones leave the world. Someone's own child, someone's spouse, some other relative that you love, that you care about, or you depend on. Father left from the family, mother left, children are still too young. So these could get very, very difficult. Easiest form of sabr is to learn the sabr on ta'at. That we force ourselves to continue doing the good deed. to do it and continue doing it. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's rule in this world is, every person has to go through some difficulties in this life. لَتُبْلَوُنَّ فِي أَمْوَالِكُمْ وَأَنفُسِكُمْ. Qur'an says that surely you will be tested in your wealth and in your soul. So difficulties from within your soul and in your wealth. Some loss. Sometimes you see people who have earned a lot of money throughout their lives. God forbid, towards the end of their life, the person lost all of that. لَتُبْلَوُنَّ فِي أَمْوَالِكُمْ وَأَنفُسِكُمْ. Surely you will be tested. Qur'an is speaking to us. You will be tested in two things mainly. In your wealth, and amwal came first. And then anfusikum, within your soul. By your own body, in your own soul, you will be tested. Because the purpose of life is تبارك الذي بيده الملك وهو على كل شيء قدير الذي خلق الموت والحياة. The one who created the life and death for what? ليبلوكم, to test you. That is bala. Bala is hardship and difficulty. ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا, to put you through test and see who will do the good deeds. Now, very briefly, quickly, so that we can understand the value of sabr and value of sabr on ta'at in our life. Every person has to go through difficulties. That is Allah's rule. A person who does not go through it willingly will have to go through it forcefully. Willingly is sabr ala ta'at and sabr anil ma'asiyah. This is your willing, doing sabr. That you pressure yourself to do some extra rak'at. You pressure yourself to continue doing the ibadah. You pressure yourself to continue doing the dhikr. After salah, you pressure yourself to stay in the masjid and do some dhikr of Allah. This is willingly you are doing it. So you yourself is working with yourself. When that thing is not there, and the rule is difficulty has to be there, then the other side comes in. And that one, because the person is not doing it willingly, it becomes much worse than this first situation. So it's our choice. Either we choose to do it willingly, and that will be sabr ala ta'a and anil ma'siyah. Do sabr on the ta'at, keep on doing the good deeds, force yourself to do it. Your nafs will cry, will give you all kind of excuses. I don't know which juz you read here in Salatul Qiyam al-Layl, in Salatul Taraweeh, but in the 11th juz, end of 10th juz, 11th juz, يَعْتَذِرُونَ إِلَيْكُمْ وَجَاءَ الْمُعَذِّرُونَ مِنَ الْأَعْرَابِ. You see the word udhr is continuously used over there for munafiqeen, that there is a group of people that are always looking for excuses not to do the ta'at. These are excuse makers. Qur'an talks specifically about that group. That there are people, when it comes to ta'at, when it comes to good deed, they always have a good excuse. وَجَاءَ الْمُعَذِّرُونَ مِنَ الْأَعْرَابِ لِيُؤْذَنَ لَهُمْ. Prophet ﷺ is saying, we need to go out on an expedition. And وَجَاءَ الْمُعَذِّرُونَ مِنَ الْأَعْرَابِ لِيُؤْذَنَ لَهُمْ. These villagers who are mu'adhirun, the one who are used to just putting down excuses, they came لِيُؤْذَنَ لَهُمْ to get a permission not to join Rasulullah ﷺ. يَعْتَذِرُونَ إِلَيْكُمْ إِذَا رَجَعْتُمْ إِلَيْهِمْ. They will bring excuses, present excuses to you when you go back to them. So there are people, our nafs will always bring excuses. Oh, I have an appointment. Oh, I need to go back. I need to do this. When we are doing a ta'ah, a good deed, our nafs will always keep on reminding us of things so that we can run away from the ta'ah. It's not shaitan, it's our own nafs. It's our nafs who is not used and cries. Just like when you make the child sit and do something that the child doesn't want to do. And you see tears falling on the child's eyes. But if you are a person who knows how to raise children properly, you will train them to do these things. No, you have to do it. You have to do it. You have to sit and do it. Same thing, just like we train our children, we need to train ourselves. That no, I have to do it. Let the tears come out of our eyes, our heart feels like you're cutting the heart. That I don't feel like continuing anymore. It's being too much. Oh, there is a phone call. I need to check my phone now, and I need to go and check my messages. No. Yeah, I'm not doing nothing. Right now is the time for ta'ah. I'm going to continue doing the ta'ah. Just try yourself. We find It's a long history. We find from the time of Sahaba Ridwanullahi alayhim and onward, you see people who finished one Qur'an in one rak'ah, like Uthman radiallahu anhu, Tamim al-Dari radiallahu anhu, and many other Sahaba and Tabi'een. Ask yourself, how much Qur'an we have ever recited, the most that we can recite in one rak'ah? For how long can we stand in one rak'ah? We find Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam some nights, the whole night, he's making dua. From Isha till Fajr, he's making dua and crying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ask yourself, how much sabr do you have on dua? And how many minutes can you just keep on making the dua continuously without having to stop? And looking at your watch, okay, it's been 5 minutes and I've been making dua, and it didn't happen yet. See, we don't have sabr on the ta'at. And because of that, we see what's happening. See the result of it, we're all seeing it. Working so hard for our dunya, but still we all are so disturbed with our dunya. No peace of mind. No peace of mind. So in sabr on ta'at, very quickly now to summarize it. To do the sabr on ta'at, there are two types of sabr that is the most important. What is that? لَتُبْلَوُنَّ فِي أَمْوَالِكُمْ وَأَنفُسِكُمْ. You will have difficulties and you will be tested in your wealth and within yourselves. So these are the two things where if we don't do it willingly, it will come unwillingly and it will come in a most difficult situation. Losses here and there, difficulties here and there, pain here and there, all kind of diseases. So if we choose to do it willingly, and what is that? Amwal. Learn how to spend your money fi sabilillah. Keep making a habit of just spending the money in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This thing here, although it seems like, oh, maybe because masjid needs funds, it's not about that. Have you ever seen a person who is asking for $15, $20, I really need to buy something, I need to buy food? Let me tell you one thing. You may remember someone who says, you know, he's in need of $50, $100. A day will come when we all will be in need of that $1. That dollar that you have spent over here, fi sabilillah. It's not about who you give it to, where you give it to, as long as you give it in the right place. Main thing is, that dollar is not for this masjid, is not for this project, is not for this organization, is not for this purpose, is not to this poor person, is for ourselves on the day of Qiyamah, when we will be in need of every reward that we need to go to the Jannah, and that dollar really will do what we need on that day, will help us on that day. This is for our souls. As much as you can spend for yourself. Imagine how much we spend on our souls. Just trying to buy a phone. Okay, I have this choice and this choice. And let me spend $100 more so I can get a better one. You're buying a bed for yourself. You're buying a fridge. You're buying anything else in the house. You know, so many things. And okay, I have a choice. Sometimes the choice is, okay, $4,000 or $5,000 more, I can get this one. But this is much better and my family likes this and everyone will like the color of this also and the design. We are going to spend the extra $5,000. Subhanallah, we couldn't spend it for our akhirah, not even $100, and here extra $5,000 just for our dunya, for the color and the design. We need all of this for our akhirah. I'm not saying don't use it here, use it. But let this remind us of how much I would need over there, and I need to send it right now, right now. A person came to Sayyidina Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, and he said, Ya Abu Hurairah, my son went out on a journey and he's been out for a long time, haven't come back. My fear is something have happened to him. Please make dua. You are a sahabi of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Please make dua for him. Sayyidina Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu said, I will teach you something that will be better than my dua for him. Go and give some sadaqah on behalf of your son. Give some sadaqah on behalf of your son. This man went and he gave some sadaqah. After some time, the son came back. Dad asked him, it took you so long and how everything was okay? He said, no, we were stuck in a very, very difficult situation. All of a sudden, one day, miraculously something happened and we got released and we came out. The dad asked him the day, it was the same day that he gave that sadaqah. There are so many hadiths to this effect. that teach us the benefit of the sadaqah. And this is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in Qur'an, وَمَنْ يَبْخَلْ فَإِنَّمَا يَبْخَلُ عَنْ نَفْسِهِ. A person who will hold things back in miserliness, he's holding it against himself. فَإِنَّمَا يَبْخَلُ. Pay attention to the words of Allah. فَإِنَّمَا يَبْخَلُ عَنْ نَفْسِهِ. He's holding it back against himself. وَاللَّهُ الْغَنِي. Allah is need-free, does not have no need. وَأَنْتُمُ الْفُقَرَاء. You are in real need. You need it. Allah gave it to you so you can spend it on yourself for akhirah. Not spend it on yourself for dunya only. Yes, use it, but spend it on yourself for akhirah. A woman came to Aisha radiallahu anha. She said, my father really used to like giving charities. He was allotted to giving charities. Would never say no to anyone. My mother didn't like giving charities. And as much as I knew, throughout her life, all my mother gave is two things in her life. Once she gave someone a butter, and once she gave someone a rag. An old rag that has no use in the house, she gave it to someone, to miskin. But other than that, she didn't give no sadaqat. My father used to give a lot of sadaqat. Now they both have passed away, and I saw a dream. This is why she came to al-Mu'minin Aisha radiallahu anha with her dream. She said, I saw a dream, that it was the day of Qiyamah. And people are thirsty. I saw my mother, she was licking on the butter, and she had that rag on her that was not enough to cover her body. And then I went around looking for my dad. He was standing by a fountain of water and filling cups of water and giving it to everyone else. This is your sadaqah. This is your charity. It will come to us on the time when we need it the most. And one of the highest things, most rewarding things that you would find on the day of Qiyamah is charity. This is why at the time of death, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us in Qur'an, at the time of death, the person who's dying, as he knows where he's going, he will request one thing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He will say to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, حَتَّى إِذَا جَاءَ أَحَدَهُمُ الْمَوْتِ قَالَ رَبِّ ارْجِعُونَ. When the time of death will come, this person will say, Ya Allah, please send me back. Why? What are you going to do now? Why do you need a few more minutes? لَعَلِّي أَعْمَلُ صَالِحًا فِي مَا تَرَكْتُ. So that I can do some good deeds with the things I have left behind. Because now he sees, as he sees Alam al-Akhirah, the year after, he sees the effect and the reward of the charity and sadaqat. So he's requesting Allah, give me some time so that I can just give some more charities before I come here. And he will be told, Kalla, no, that time is over. You had enough time to do whatever you wanted to do. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq that we have sabr on this also. Because this needs a huge sabr. Taking out $1, it's difficult. $100 even more difficult. Of course, the more you take out, the more difficult it is. This is why Rasulullah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, لَن تَنَالُوا الْبِرَّ حَتَّى تُنْفِقُوا مِمَّا تُحِبُّونَ. You will not achieve al-birr, that high level of reward, until you spend of what you love. What you love. وَآتَ الْمَالَ عَلَى حُبِّهِ. People who spend the wealth in spite of the love for the wealth. So that love is there. This is why we need to break our nafs and destroy the desire of the nafs by spending it. God forbid, when people lose, then no one is asking them, do you want to lose 100 or you want to lose 1,000 or 100,000? People lose everything. May Allah protect us. We see the refugees that are coming from different parts of the world. They're telling us they used to own factories. And now, they are refugees. May Allah protect us from all those situations. So, this is what it is. We need to learn how to take it upon ourselves to do this sabr on the ta'at. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq. يقول الله جل وعلا في كتابه العزيز أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا أنفقوا مما رزقناكم من قبل أن يأتي يوم لا بيع فيه ولا خلة ولا شفاعة والكافرون هم الظالمون. ويقول الله جل وعلا الذين ينفقون أموالهم بالليل والنهار سرا وعلانية فلهم أجرهم عند ربهم ولا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون. بارك الله لي ولكم في القرآن العظيم ونفعني وإياكم بما فيه من الآيات والذكر الحكيم. أستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين من كل ذنب فاستغفروه إنه غفور رحيم. مولاي صل وسلم دائما